Hi everyone. For those who are coming back to join us for the Young Inventors Challenge, welcome back. And for those who are new to this challenge and also to the association, I would welcome you. And today's purpose is to give you a short introduction of who ASTI is and what YIC is, right? So clear picture for you guys to know what you're getting yourself into. No, it's not trouble. It's going to be very fun. So as a start, the ASTI, or the Association of Science, Technology and Innovation, is an association of educators, scientists, industry representatives, and individuals who are committed to advance the role of the scientific community, to inspire the youth of the nation to join and excel in the world of science. ASTI tries to use science, technology, and innovation for the advancement of mankind and protection of the environment that nourishes us all. ASTI believes that STI is a part of a wider realm of knowledge, such as art, history, language, and others. So basically, the amalgamation of all this knowledge, is the one that is going to, improve our livelihoods and also our lives as and in this case for YIC, as as you guys learn how to innovate, create new products and things, that will definitely improve the mankind's livelihood, right? So ASTI was set up on 25th October 2012, and the first program that ASTI did was the Science Fair for Young Children. So for those who are unaware, YIC is one of many other programs that ASTI does. So just to give you a snapshot, this is not exhaustive. This is a list of the current programs that ASTI does. And, besides YIC, I think ASTI is very open to invite you all to participate in the other programs, right? So, you just registered for the Young Inventors Challenge. What is the Young Inventors Challenge? The Young Inventors Challenge is a program aimed to encourage secondary school students between the age of 13 to 17 to experience the merits of teamwork firsthand, and to find innovative solutions to everyday science-related problems. Now, these are things that I will elaborate more as we go through the presentation later. Now, the Young Inventors Challenge started in 2013 as a pilot program and has had a remarkable response. The growth of the Young Inventors Challenge is significant every year. I will show you the historical data as we go along. Every year, ASTI would invite secondary school students from Malaysia and other countries to submit their proposals on innovative ideas and inventions. The proposals will receive or go through a review and will be shortlisted. So later, I will explain to you also on the process of the whole program throughout the year. The shortlisted teams will then undergo multiple online trainings provided by ASTI. And this year, we will be tweaking things a little bit differently. We will be pre-recording most of the training videos. And then we'll be sharing the link to all the participants. So this allows the participants to then, at any time when they're available, right, to actually go through the video, learn something, and if they're not comfortable, they can always forward, rewind, they can do multiple things from the video and hopefully learn from it. The young inventors are then given about 4 months to develop their projects, after which they are invited to exhibit their works at the grand finale. So for all the participants this year we will be returning back to the physical grand finale, because for the past few years, as for those who are aware, we have been having the YIC competition through the online format. So this year will be special. We will be going back on the physical event. So these are some of the things that we have achieved throughout the years. YIC started off as a competition in Malaysia, but has since spread out across ASEAN. So we have uh, uh, teams from Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, Singapore, Brunei, Vietnam, Timor-Leste, just to name a few. And it's also slowly growing into other countries such as India, China, Sri Lanka, and all the way to the UK's, right? So of course, the aspiration for ASTI and also for the YIC committee is for the YIC competition to become even more international, right? And we are hoping that if you have interested friends, whether it's from your school or from, you know someone from other countries who are interested to participate in the YIC, please do, inform them about this competition. Between 2017 to 2023, YIC has received multiple international recognition from the Malaysian Ministry of Education. And of course, we've been invited to be part of to share our story with the media through national, international newspapers and television news. In 2019, YIC was also shortlisted from over 1,500 education projects from around the world to participate in the conference and competition called Reimagining Education, held in London, which was organized by QS International. YIC was also recognized as the top 10 projects run by an alumni of the International Visitors Leadership Program, conducted by the US State Department. Now, all the nice stories and everything. So what's the main aim and objective of the Young Inventors Challenge? First is to give opportunities to young adults who are inventive to promote their ideas to the outside world. Number two, to train and give an opportunity to young inventors to develop and showcase their inventions. Number three, to help young inventors to experience the inventive cycle from conceptualization to a full product or prototype. And not written here, of course, is the fourth one, right? Something that I would encourage participants to fight over, right? Get your proposals good. I hope you guys all try your best to enter into the finals. When you are at a physical event, this is the best time for you to mix and mingle with the other young adults or the other teams who are doing their innovation, so that you can share ideas, you can perhaps even discuss about collaborations to see how you can improve your ideas and your innovation. A bit more about the history of YIC, and just as a highlight, these are the teams that we have had since 2013, and you can see, right, steadily we started off with 12 teams. Now we are up to 155 teams as of 2023. Of course, this year I'm hoping for more. I want to see more of you guys coming in and joining us. Now, something to do, back to the one that's more important, right? What's the process flow for the Young Inventors Challenge? So I think the Secretariat for the YIC has already informed most of the team members, and on the social media as well. You need to complete your team registration by 31st May 2024. You also need to send your proposal submission by 31st May 2024. Now, once we receive your proposal will go through the marking by the first level of judges, right? Now, the judges will then shortlist the teams that will then move on to the next round, and we will make the announcement in July. Now, once you are informed that you can move to the next level, right? of course, we will also give you feedback and testimonials on how you can further improve your proposal and your innovation leading towards the grand finale. Now, besides the testimonial, we also provide, as mentioned earlier, the online training from time to time. And then we will then send an invitation to you to participate at the physical grand finale in KL, right? And then one good thing about this year's grand finale is I've been told by the Secretariat that the location is quite close to the Kuala Lumpur City Centre. So I hope that, you know, besides being at the grand finale, you know, being part of the YIC competition and everything, you guys get a chance to experience the Kuala Lumpur City Centre, you know, since you're coming. Now, what's important? What's the grand prize, right? Okay, so the grand prize, the first platinum award is 2,500 ringgit. Then there will be 2 gold awards worth 1,500 ringgit. There will be 5 silver awards worth 1,000 ringgit, and there will be 7 bronze awards worth 700 ringgit. And perhaps, maybe as the Secretariat and the committee members are still working to get more sponsors to join the YIC competition. Hopefully with more sponsorship, no promises here. This is something that we have to work on. Perhaps we will announce more prizes as the competition goes along. Now, for those who are ready to go, right? What is the proposal submission process? Step 1, you need to form a team and appoint a mentor. Now, a lot of you have asked, what is a mentor, right? A mentor can be your teacher, a teacher from your school or from another school. It can also be your parents. It can be your senior, someone who is able to advise you on, you know, how, and give you a helping hand when you need help, when you're doing your innovation and you're go through this whole process, right? So that's what a mentor is for. So normally, we will advise you to choose between 2 to 5 persons, aged between 13 to 17 years old. And of course, we encourage multicultural, multi-backgrounds, right? That enriches your whole experience for this competition. And of course, more importantly, you're able to write the proposal and presentation in English, right? Of course, again, once your team has been formed, we would advise you to have a team leader, and as mentioned earlier, a team mentor. Now, step 2. Now, the team now is a setup team, right? The team then goes through a brainstorm. You then go through your brainstorming session to decide what ideas or what inventions you're interested in moving forward with. Now, based on those, you choose the best concepts, right? So again, remember that this year's theme is the Sustainable Development Goals. So you should be basing your ideas and invention based on the main theme, right? So does your invention have a positive impact on the Sustainable Development Goals? Does your invention have the potential to be built, produced, and used or implemented? Not just by you, but maybe, you know, general public. And then, of course, you need to be able to identify what your innovation and your ideas lead towards, or how is it linked to the Sustainable Development Goals. So, of course, maybe some of you are, what Sustainable Development Goals and everything. Do not fret, because we will, I think, following on some of the trainings, we will have one session specifically for you to understand what the Sustainable Development Goals are. Now, step 3. Now you're clear on what innovation you want to do, how do you link it to the teams and everything. You then do further research and initiate the project, right? You do a background research on the chosen concept to come up with. You gather all the necessary information for your invention. And as mentioned earlier, you may then take this opportunity to get further advice from your mentor or the experts in the field of your invention. Now, when we say advice, we literally mean advice, right? Advice from the experts and your mentor. We're not asked. We have had cases where the mentor or the experts, the one helping the team to do the innovation. Now, that is, when I say helping, literally means they help to build up the whole thing. Now, that is something that the committee members are concerned with, right? So when we say advice, we mean that the mentor and experts will advise you, but with arm's length approach, right? Now, step 4, prepare the proposal and submit it for approval. Based on the gathered information, prepare an invention proposal based on the following guidelines. Number 1, we want to understand your objectives. Of course, number 1, sorry, I jumped the gun a little bit. We want to know what the title of your invention is, the description of what your invention is, a short name or a title of your invention. And then what's the objective of creating your invention, right? We need to understand it. What problems are you trying to solve? What values are you trying to add based on your invention? Based on your understanding of the research that you have done, does your invention, can your invention be a solution to be tested, prototype, or demonstrated? The third one, of course, as mentioned earlier, your invention or your ideas must be linked to the major theme of YIC. In this case, the Sustainable Development Goals. So what are the themes related to your inventions? Who are the beneficiaries of your invention? For different, because most of you come from multiple different countries. So every country will have its own problems, and your invention will fit different beneficiaries. Does your overall invention solve the SDG identified by you, right? Now, as we go further, more descriptions of your invention. Who will benefit from your invention or innovation? Is it a community at large? In general, is it an environment, or is it a certain pool of people, right? Is your proposed solution based on scientific evidence or scientific fundamentals? As mentioned earlier, you already understand the history of ASTI and also the YIC challenge, right? So with your invention, you need to be very sure, be very clear about the scientific fundamentals of your invention. Now, the last of course is, how is your invention or innovation impacting the beneficiaries that you've picked earlier? Further, how does your invention or innovation meet the objective that you clarified earlier? And how would it be implemented in a practical application? So practical means, is it cost efficient enough that most of the beneficiaries that you choose can afford it, right? Sometimes it's through cost, sometimes it's through the ease of deploying your inventions for others to use, and other methods. How useful is your invention and innovation? Now, originality. So this portion is quite important. As per scientific principles and backgrounds, originality is important. Sometimes it's a new invention, but most of the time, you write on the inventions and the research of others, right, to improve further. So, how is your invention being different from others or other available inventions currently that you can observe? What makes your proposal, a proposed idea in innovation, unique? How your invention solves the identified problem differently from what other technologies or other innovation that is currently available in the market. Now, the next one is on commercialization potentials. Now, this is a small section, but this is quite critical because most of the time, innovators and researchers are very good at innovating, but they lack the commercialization or entrepreneurship acumen, right? And so therefore, most innovations or research continue to be in paper or in storage, right? You cannot, it has a difficult time to be brought out to be used by the so-called beneficiaries. So in this case, we want to see, and if it's possible for you to brief us on how your innovation have the potential to be implemented or commercialized. And also, we want to understand, based on what you have, your thought process, what improvements you can do. So what's your plan for the future for this innovation? Now, when it comes to drawings, your drawings must be simple line drawings that clearly illustrate your invention innovation. So simple line drawings, you want to show process flow that's possible, but keep it simple. Do not overcomplicate the drawing, right? So as you do understand that the judges go through multiple papers. So do make your drawings as simplified and as easy to understand as possible. And I also want to advise, if possible, please try to have drawings, because at the end of the day, illustration, something physical for the judges to try to understand makes it easier rather than full words. So yeah, so we have gone through the content of the proposals. Now, once you've gone through it, once you've done it, you're almost complete, right? How do you submit your proposal? Your proposals can then be submitted to this, as you can see, the blue link, the proposal submission link. And remember that it should be submitted by 31st May 2024. And in our case, we always say we will accept all applications by 31st May 2024 that are submitted at 11:59, right, and before, right? So just as an example, a snapshot below, this is where you submit your proposal. Now, let's go on to something just to get the mood going. To be an innovator, sometimes you need to be different, right? So there are multiple approaches to this. Number one, find the right problem to solve. Take charge of your own problems. This is not a test where we give you the problem to solve. Number two, break the pattern. Sometimes you need to be willing to consider anything, right? Number three, break the rules. Consider anything, even things you have been taught to ignore. Perceived rules keep us from the solution. Number four, grow the solution. Suspend all judgment, take risks, and think outside your comfort zones. So I think a very good example of this will be the picture of the four men below, and the technology that are in the pictures as well. Number one, we start off with Samuel Morse, right? Samuel Morse, I think hope many of you understand the Morse code and how important it was for the early days. We start off with communication, right? So each of these innovators, in a way, combine parts of these four approaches to innovation, as I've mentioned earlier, right? So you see, in the case of Samuel Morse, he was an amateur innovator. His love was more on painting, right? But when he heard, in his era, electromagnetism was something new. It was a new technology, right? And when he heard it off from somebody, he had an idea. And so he created the Morse code. Now, then it was an upgrade, right? Then there was Alexander Graham Bell, who created the first telephone, right? So, Alexander Graham Bell's background and his interest was more on helping the deaf to understand and be able to communicate with others, right? So he was more interested in speech and also devices that help the deaf communicate more. But serendipitously, he created the first telephone, and this allowed a slightly delayed communication between the world, right, which was in the old days quite impossible. Now, then you talk about Martin Cooper, the first creator of the mobile phone. Now, his thought process was simple. His argument was that, this is a telephone, right? And telephones are important, and telephones should be next to the user. It should be, it's like an additional arm to you. So therefore, it should be always next to you or linked to you. Therefore, based on that idea, he came up with the mobile phone. Now, and then we remember, of course, in our era, we have Steve Jobs and Apple, right? From the mobile phone, now we have the smartphones. If it's going to be part of my third arm, besides the telephone, I can put more things into the technology, right? So now we have GPS, we have multiple things in the smartphone, right? And that has changed our world, right? Now, the last slide. To be an innovator or an inventor, we would like to advise most of the participants to practice design thinking. Now, earlier I mentioned about working as a team. So this is a good opportunity for all of you to talk to each other, understand your teammates, good points and bad points, right? You will then realize that there will be two types of thinking as you discuss this. There will be some of your teammates will be analytical thinkers, and some of them will be design thinkers, right? So see, at the end of the day, our hope is that with YIC, you then get to amalgamate this the team, this relationship as teammates, and maybe rub off some of these practices on both sides, right? So you see, analytical thinkers tend to start with a problem, whereas a design thinker tends to start with a solution. And analytical thinkers will then seek to understand the problems more fully, while design thinking seeks to generate better solutions, right? So the analytical thinkers will then say, what's the gap, right? What is and to what should be? Whereas design thinkers will say, what is and to what could be, right? Analytical thinkers tend to break solutions into their constituent parts, whereas design thinkers tend to put together elements to find the best combinations. So this is where your smartphone came in from. Analytical thinkers also examine the present in context of past events, whereas design thinkers try to create the future with current available resources. And analyticals tend to ask if it is true, whereas design thinker thinks, I will always ask, will it work? All right. So with that, today's session is a very short session. I hope this is not too overburdening for you. And with that, wish you a good day, and I hope you have a fruitful day in school. Thank you very much, everyone.